Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I bring you a review of a host that I brought a while ago. The Mockfire. Well, on K-Domain's website, they call it the KMO 11924, but on the light itself it says Mockfire, as you can see. Basically, I brought this host because it was cheap and I'm a tight ass. The host cost me $4.24 US. I had to write that down, like seriously. And then in it, I got a $2.53 driver, US dollar driver from Fastech, running about 2.5 3 amps max. And then I got it on a Noctigen XP-G2, which is worth $2.90 US. So under $10 US, $10. Total is $9.65. I hope I done the maths right. We'll run through the specs. Well, I can't really because I don't know the output. I'll be guessing the output is about 7 to 800 lumens. But two reasons why I brought this actually. One was because it's cheap and the camera's kind of uneven, isn't it? One, because it was cheap, and two, because I wanted a no. What was I gonna say? It's a Zoomy. I just found a old. Is it a SK68 or SK98, whichever one you want to call it? And it actually uses the same size optics. So basically, it's a S2 Plus style light or A6 style light. You know what I mean? Almost the same height. It is actually 62 grams, so it's lighter than the S2, I think. And 119 mils in length, so 11.9 centimeters in length, and 24 mil head, and it's uniform, so the body is the same size as the head. Pretty easy. I figured it would be kind of cool because maybe it will throw a little bit better than a standard host of this size. Basically, you could probably get like a little bit more throw out of it than this. If I de-dome the XP-G2, obviously I'll get more throw, but it's already a pretty neutral tint, like 4K, 4,500K, so I kind of don't want to de-dome it. It cost me like, you guys, it's $2.90 because there's no GST on it and stuff, but it cost me almost $5, $4.50 on the Noctigen board. Isn't too bad actually. Yeah, it's a pretty cheap host. I don't know any other lights you can buy for under 10 US dollars. What's our dollars worth? Like 73 US dollars, 73 cents. Sorry, so it would be maybe $12.50 Australian, somewhere around over there. So I don't know like any other lights that you can buy for that price that'll output this much. Output isn't bad, 700-800 lumens, somewhere around over there, I reckon. Throw is okay. It gets to the tree at 100 meters pretty easy, easier than something like this S2 Plus would. Heat sinking on it isn't fantastic, but it isn't too bad. The threads are okay. I'll show you guys the threads. So basically, they don't come lubed as in most hosts. They don't even come lubed in most hosts. But I was mucking around with it, and they were a pain to put on. So I did have to lube them myself, and put quite a bit. The towel cap is one of the ones that has a brass button on it. So I basically took that brass button off and I've done a spring bypass, and I even done a spring bypass on the driver. And the reason why I done a spring bypass here was because it's not a copper spring. So you guys can see the color of the copper there. So it's braided wire. It's probably a steel, I would say, because they don't make springs out of alloy, do they? Out of aluminium. So it would be a steel spring. Basically, the resistance on steel springs are absolutely horrible. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I can like quickly show you guys around the light, and we'll take it outside and see how it does. Don't expect it to blow you away, but it's not going to be the worst light you've ever seen. It does look cool with the Noctigen board and stuff, and you can see the phosphor layer. It looks pretty yellow. I reckon it looks awesome when you look down this. Actually, we'll take it outside. I might go into the shed even, and we'll check the output compared to the S2 Plus and see how it does. I'll show you around the light, but I'll only be like a minute. Alright guys, this is my in-house workbench. I picked up a set of these from Fastech. They're actually really good. I might do a review on them actually. I quite like them. Yeah, so I think it's got a stainless steel bezel. It feels different to the Alloy. The knurling is okay. It's not the best. It's not a push and pull zoomy, so you got to screw it and unscrew it. So it says the Mockfire there. Grip is okay. So I'll show you the threads even closer up now. So it's got an O-ring there. It's also got an O-ring up the front here. Oh. Basically, I'll take out the battery. I've got an IMR cell in there. I'm not going to undo it just because I have to undo the pill first to undo this part, and there's nothing in there to see anyway. I can show you the driver if you guys can see it. No, you can't really see it. If I go like this, you should be able to. No, not really. But the only problem is I don't know what K-Domain done. But when they built this, they didn't put anywhere for you to put your it's got the gasket there. They didn't put anywhere for you to put your or whatever you use to tighten it, your tweezers or whatnot, your screwdriver. They didn't put it anywhere for you to put it. So you've only got the wire holes, and you know these are fairly sharp. So I don't want to be poking and prodding when I've already done it up and undone it like a million times. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The pill is like super small and light, so don't expect it to run direct drive at 1,000,000 amps. It's not really made for that. It was a cheapo host. I basically brought it to see how it performs, and if it was good, I was going to buy more and just do them up as fun. You know, for the price, I would say it's not too bad. It's not going to win any awards, but you know, it is a cheapo light. You could probably get an S2 Plus for the same price that I built this for, but then again, the S2 Plus won't be running on an Octogen board, and this driver is a alright driver. It's not good, it's not great, but it's not bad. I don't know if I'd rather this or the Nange that come in the S2 Pluses. Yep, this is a pain in the ass to fit on because there's no holes. I can kind of understand why they done it, but yeah. Anyway, I'll put this back together and then we'll go outside. And I probably forgot to put the gasket on anyway, so I'll take it off and double check. Alright guys, now we're outside. The camera looks like it's pretty well lit out here, but not really. Okay, that's probably low mode, I think. Let me just cycle through the modes. That's a blinky. Okay, so this will be highest mode here. So as I was saying before, you know, it's not like bright, but it's not really dull either. I reckon my claim of 700-800 lumens is about right. It's not like super special, but if we look at the tint, it is a pretty good tint. It is lighting up my whole backyard actually, if you can see from there to there. It does give it a pretty even beam, and of course with this optics you are wasting a bit of light too. One, because of the optics, and two, because of how wide the beam is. So if we then put it in a little bit more, you can see it does a really good job actually. It's pretty bright. Only problem is if I test this with my ceiling bounce test, I don't know how accurate it's going to be, but we'll give it a go in a sec. Alright, we'll put the zoom in a little bit more. So that's a zoom at max, so you can see it's not super throwy, it's still pretty wide beam. We'll go to 100 meters and see how it does. Okay, at 100 meters I can see it reaching there. I don't know how well you guys can. Actually, yeah, you guys can see the tree and you can see it's just hitting it. It's not like super good, but it's not too bad. Let me cycle through the modes on the tree. Yeah, it reaches there, but it's not lighting it up perfect. But to be honest, 100 meters is pretty far for this style light. It's not too bad actually. We'll try across to those trees there, 60-70 meters. You can see it reaches those fairly easy, lights them up pretty well. Yeah, it's a pretty good job. So, you know, if we put the zoom in, you can see it on the door reflecting. It is fairly bright still on the back fence. So right now the light is getting super hot. Not too hot to touch, but it is still fairly warm. You know, like, to be honest, like, it's pretty cool, as in the sense that like, it's very unique and different. There's not many lights like this on the market. This is actually the only light that I've ever seen, and it's a super cheap host too, so it's cool to see like what it can do. I'll grab the S2 Plus. It's actually in my pocket, so that should be pretty easy. I'll move the camera back a bit and we'll try the S2 Plus on. Alright guys, so the S2 Plus has pretty much the same LED, but it's got a Nange 105C, I believe, with 8 7135s on it, so 3 amps, same emitter. So we'll try it to 100 meters there. You can see it on the tree. It's lighting it up, but I don't think it's lighting it up any better, but it does do a pretty good job. The thing with the optics is that you do lose a bit of output, which is a shame. In the backyard, I'm pretty sure that this is the highest mode. Brightness is about even, I think. And we'll put the Mockfire on. So Mockfire is on to the left, of course, and S2 Plus to the right. See, I don't know, like which one's brighter. Alright guys, we'll put both lights on side by side, both on low mode. A little bit of PWM there. You guys probably won't be able to tell, but to me the Mockfire does look a little bit more neutral. It's probably about 1000K less. Actually on the camera it looks the other way around, right? But in front of me it doesn't. There's a pretty big difference. I don't know how I can show you guys, but yeah, let's go back and light up the yard actually. Alright guys, yeah, so overall the build's pretty cool. It's fairly different. I actually took this XPG2 out of my Knight Newman. Basically that fried a battery. It drained it down to like 0.7 volts, so I had enough of it and I just pulled it apart and took this out. Yeah, so that light is just going to be used for scrap now. On high mode, you know, it's not super bright, but it does do a pretty good job for under 10 US dollars. I think it's not a bad build. I will probably put an XML in here instead of the XPG2 just to get a bit of extra power. Maybe even if you want a bit of extra throw, put an XPL HI, or for overall output you can even put a XPL, standard XPL. I don't have any of those on a 16mm board, sorry, so I just use this instead. It's not the most powerful light, but I don't know how well you guys can see. The tint is fairly neutral. If I show you over here on this, and output is okay and it's unique and different, so that's always a plus. Alright guys, this has been Chris from Everyday Survival Gear, bringing you the review of the Host Mockfire. I don't even know the model number. It's on K-Domain, so I'll leave a link in the description where you guys can buy it. And as always, I hope you enjoyed it, and like and subscribe, and thanks for watching guys.